Hi, I'm Bernard Gallacher, 3 times Ryder Cup captain and golf care ambassador.
I'm definitely not Bernard Gallacher. I am Di Stewart, and I'm a sports broadcaster and golf lover, and I'm really excited. The last major of the year is the Open Championship. It happens to be my favourite, Bernard. It's at Royal Troon for the 152nd edition this year. Yeah. I know you're a massive fan of Royal Troon, aren't you? Why is that?
First of all, I'm Scottish and it's in Scotland.
Yes, exactly. So I thought, do you know, well, I'm Stuart, so my clan was from Fife.
Oh,
so
okay.
Well, there we go. I couldn't put on a terrible accent.
Yeah, that was quite good there, actually.
Was it? Yeah. Oh, good. I normally get like a 4 out of 10. Would you say
well,
what?
Troon is the quintessential seaside golf course.
Yes.
It's, you start at the first at the clubhouse and you play the first 9 holes on the seaside on the right, and you play away from the clubhouse, and you play the last 9 back to the clubhouse. Straight out, straight in, as we say in golfing terms.
Yeah.
And
I've done the run. You run all the way out and run all the way back. And I've got 2 great mates who live 2 minutes from the golf course, Ken and Caroline, who I stayed with at the last Open. And I've just messaged them to say, can I stay with you again?
And what did they say?
They haven't replied, but I'm hoping they will. Ken and Caroline.
If they don't reply in 2 weeks, tickets are no.
It's a no, isn't it? Yeah.
No, but I like the Open like you. It's my favourite because I think it's the strongest of the majors, because it tests every part of a golfer's game more than the stereotype American golf. Because you know, you play it in wind, there's a bounce on the fairway, you've got to hit the ball high downwind, you hit it low into the wind. You've got to cater for every part of your game, and that's why I think our Open Championship is the strongest of the majors, and it's always got an Open Championship field. You know, it's a lot of players playing. There'll be 150 in the field, and I look forward to the Open Championship.
Oh, I do. Every year we do live at the range, so walking up and down the range, talking about all the players. And I remember on the Sunday of the last Open, Brian Harman, lefty, just shelling a few on the range. He wasn't stressed at all. I mean, it was a brilliant plotted win.
He was cool, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Who expected Brian Harman to win the Open?
Well, you wouldn't, with John Ram breathing down his neck and the big hitters breathing down his neck. He had this left-hander who doesn't hit it that far, but he looked to be in the zone. He looked to have his game under control, and also he never really missed a putt. No. When I say I missed a putt, he didn't hold long putts. He just never missed a putt that he should have. That he could have missed. Yeah. It was wonderful temperament. I
mean, it was great. Some people say it was a bit boring, but it's not boring. It's just great golf.
No, I just like
with the lowest score.
Yeah.
Is there any other Open memories that really stand out from years gone by?
Oh, well, we'll go back in years again, because my best memory was Tony Jacklin winning the Open Championship Royal Lytham in 1969. Do you remember back in those days, a British golfer hadn't won since Max Faulkner had won in 1953. And every year it was getting more pressure on British golfers to win. And Tony Jacklin sort of stood up to the plate and won that Open at Royal Lytham. And it was great for British golf. And I remember his tee shot, and it's a tough tee shot, the last hole at Royal Lytham. And Henry Longhurst was the commentator on TV, and he said, "It's a corker." And it's a corker.
Right.
He's hit a corker.
Yes.
That was a real strong English term, he said. And it was a corker. It was absolutely split the fairway, and it was long. Yeah. And so we all breathed a sigh of relief when Tony
corker.
Yeah, when he'd hit that. And he beat Bob Charles by 2 strokes, I think, or 1 stroke, whatever it was. So that was one of my best memories, and what got me inspired to come into golf. My father, when I was a 13-year-old, took me to Troon. It was Troon in those days. It got the Royal later, to watch Arnold Palmer.
Okay.
Because in
pretty special.
Oh, Arnold Palmer was the man, And my dad said, "We're going across to watch this American golfer called Arnold Palmer." and Arnold Palmer won the Open that week. And I wanted to be one of Arnie's army. And that's what inspired me to sort of not play as much football, not play as much rugby, not play as much, and take more up to golf.
That's amazing. So he was an icon. He was someone that you really looked up to.
He was strong. He hit the ball miles. He had his knees together at putting, a wristy putting, and just bolted the ball into the hole.
Can
And
you
he
show
was
us the
strong.
knees?
Well, he putted like that,
Yeah.
Arnold Palmer, and it was a wristy action because the greens were quite slow in those days. Now, of course, the greens are all quick and we don't have wrist action. We take it out, so it's a completely different technique. But in those days, Arnold would just thump the ball into the hole, and that's.
I really enjoyed meeting him actually.
Yeah.
St Andrews, we did the World Golf Hall of Fame in 2015, and he was there, and it was a real privilege to meet him. I'm thinking about the last time that the Open was at Royal Troon, and it was the duel, wasn't it, between Phil Mickelson and Henrik Stenson.
That was wonderful.
That was a real battle, wasn't it?
It rivaled that other duel down by the Isher course. That match rivaled Jack Nicklaus and Tom Watson, really.
Well, the commentary was about it. They were comparing it, weren't they?
Were they comparing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because they were the only two that were going for the Open, and Henrik Stenson won, and you could see he was a bit shell-shocked, Phil Mickelson, when he walked off the green.
Yeah.
Because he was just blown away by Henrik Stenson's golf. He just couldn't do anything wrong. He was down the middle on the green. He was holding the putts. It was unbelievable.
So what's the key to playing around Royal Troon then?
Well,
hit the fairway, hit the green.
Well, it's easy to say
in.
that, yeah. But if the wind blows, it's a tough hole.
It is.
It's a tough course, rather.
Yeah.
And of course, it's got that postage stamp hole, the 10th, which is famous, most famous short hole. It's the shortest hole in Championship Major Golf. It's 123 yards. It's got 5 bunkers round the green. And, you know, if you go in any of those bunkers, it's very difficult to get it on the green, far less get it up and down.
Yeah.
And if the wind's blowing at all anywhere 15 or 20 miles an hour, then it becomes a very difficult test.
But that's what we want to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
We want to. Is it too short for you? 123?
No.
Or you love it?
I'm not looking for long holes these days. No.
Oh, okay.
But it is a tough hole. It is a tough hole.
Because some of these holes are a bit of Marmite to golf fans. They either love them or they hate them. But you're a big fan.
I think everyone likes that postage stamp. It's just a famous. It's just part of
Scottish heritage and Open heritage.
So it depends on the wind who's going to do well at Troon, you know, because basically you either play downwind the front 9 and then you play against the wind the back 9, or vice versa. And so it's who can cope with the conditions, you know. Even when there's a strong wind blowing and you're downwind, it becomes almost more difficult than playing into the wind, even although because it's difficult to stop the ball, you know, you're playing on a bouncy surface.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of strategy about playing an Open Championship course. Sometimes you've got to play away from the pin, you've got to play into the middle of the green, even though you've only got a wedge in your hand. Because sometimes if you go for the flag and you hit it just off, it can go into some terrible lie or whatever. So
I think it's hard for people to understand. Well, I'm sure a lot of people watching have played Open Championship venues, but the way they set it up for the Open is so incredibly tricky. We had a celebrity match last year, the day before the championship, and the likes of Gareth Bale went out and played, and he's a low handicap player. He said it was brutal. It's just so hard. I mean, the challenge that these guys face, and so many are in contention and then fall off the pace slowly, but you know, Saturday, Sunday is, I can only imagine the nerves. But who do you see in this year's Open Championship doing well?
Well, I've got a sneaking feeling that Tommy Fleetwood will do well, and Tyrrell Hatton.
2 Englishmen.
So I'm rooting for them to do really well. I think they will do well. I think Tommy Fleetwood deserves a major.
Yeah.
Because he's been a good player for a long time. He was runner-up in the US Open when Brooks Koepka won at Shinnecock. Played absolutely fantastic there. Unfortunately, Brooks Koepka played just a little bit better. But he's played great in Ryder Cup, in the last Ryder Cup at Marco Simon, and he beat Ricky Fowler, which was
amazing. One of
the main reasons we managed to win there.
He's also finished second in an Open Championship, 2019.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
At Royal Portrush, where we go next year, don't we, in Ireland?
I tend to forget about that because Shane Lowry was so far ahead of everybody.
I think it's 6 shots, wasn't it? It was a big one.
6 shots, yeah. But anyway,
so Tommy.
No, but it was good. But Tyrrell Hatton, I think, has developed into a really outstanding player.
Yes, yeah.
And he's got, even though he's a bit feisty, he's a bit angry at times. I quite like that anger on him.
Can you relate?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And my wife and I sit in television and watch Tyrrell Hatton on television. And we love it if he misses a putt or that. Not because he missed a putt, but I just like to see how angry he gets.
The reaction.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit of entertainment, isn't it? I mean,
well, it is.
It's obviously he's battling something, but he's very different off the course.
Yeah, I know, but
he's not angry, is he?
No, he's a really nice guy. Yeah. But I mean, all the players who do well. I mean, Colin Montgomery was angry if he hit bad shots. Jack Nicklaus in the early days was really angry when he hit shots.
Colin lives around the corner, so he's charming, isn't he?
Yeah.
So we just need
Gary
to remind
Player
him.
was angry when he hit balls.
Well, it's your livelihood. It's your life, isn't it?
It fires you up.
Yes.
And that's what gets them going.
Good to get feisty.
To play with that anger. I mean, Sebi was always angry when he hit bad shots.
Yeah.
Missed putts. He was always, and it keeps you going.
Are we condoning anger on the golf course here?
Well,
we're saying emotion.
A controlled anger. It's a controlled anger that makes you play your best.
Yeah.
That's what you really want. And Tyrrell Hatton's got that in abundance. But he's also got a great game. And I'd have to put a caveat and say the problem is he plays on the Live Tour, which isn't a problem. But the problem is...
Life's different now.
Well, you're not playing enough tournaments. So, they're playing 13 tournaments on a whole year's schedule. So can he produce his best competitive golf having played so little competition?
The counter argument is that you come in fresh, but then you've got your years of experience, so it swings in roundabouts, doesn't it?
Well, it is. Well, Greg Norman, I think, is trying to put tournaments, 2 or 3 tournaments, in lead-ups to the majors to help them. He's trying to rearrange the schedule.
Yeah.
I know the first couple of years that didn't happen. But I think last year he was putting his Live tournaments quite close to majors to help his players become competitive, so that they're standing up and they're competitive coming into the majors. That's what they need to do.
Yeah. Okay, so your 2 tips.
They're my 2 tips.
For the Open Championship at Royal Troon, 3rd week of July. The countdown is on. I can't wait. I'll be pacing that range on the Monday.
Yeah, you will.
And do you know what? The players are really... the smiles change as the week goes by. So Monday, Sunday, because some people...
Relax, smiling.
Monday, Tuesday, it's totally chilled, loads of interviews. Yeah, Wednesday's a bit like, oh, maybe I'm not going to chat to you. And then Thursday is game face, in the zone, not speaking to anybody. In fact, I've got a complete...
I've been there.
Have you? Yes. But some of them literally just walk past you and don't say... But I completely get it. It's their office. It's their area. You don't want to interrupt.
And that's where you've got to be a good reporter and get it out of them, haven't you? And it's not easy.
It's not easy, no, but it's all about timing, and hopefully 90% of the time I get it right.
Yeah, you do. So far you've done all right.
Oh, bless you. Doing all right. Bernard, thank you. So you're going for Tommy and for Tyrrell, and I'm going for Rory.
Rory, okay. You're boring.
I am a bit boring. I am. Should we go and have that Chardonnay? That'll sort of make me more excited.
Yes, okay.
Great.
We'll do.
Bernard, thanks so much. Great stuff.